All right, Charlie, coming off the 2024 season, I know it wasn't where you wanted to be at the end because you only have national championship in mind, which is why that makes your program so highly respected and so competitive. But reflecting on 2024, how would you characterize everything that happened and just get your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it was, for us, I think we were in the top 5 the whole year, and at one point we're ranked number 1. And yet, when it ended, it didn't feel like it was a very good year. Obviously, the biggest impact was losing Spiros Hakis, who was National Player of the Year candidate and really playing great. We were ranked number 1 when he went down in the last match of the outrigger, and we just kind of hung around from there forward, but didn't really have the firepower on the pins to be a top team and qualify for the NC2A tournament. And I think that left a kind of a bitter taste in a lot of the guys' mouths, and worked really hard in the offseason to get us back in contention.
Yeah. How about from a student-athlete perspective, Tread? What were your thoughts on your first season? Then all the media saying a 17-year-old setter running a high-octane offense and doing phenomenal.
Yeah, it's obviously great to hear that, but I was more focused on team last year, and obviously it was a little disappointing at the end. But I definitely learned a lot of things from last year that I'm really excited to get to use this year and just kind of keep improving on everything. And I'm really excited about all the new guys that are in the gym. It's a really great pack of new people at almost every position. So I think it's going to be an exciting year.
I know, bounce back over to Charlie, and being that you arguably had one of the youngest, most talented players in your gym in Tread, how is it like being able to develop him? And actually, I think he came earlier to you in the season to start training a little bit earlier before the season started.
Well, he finished high school a full year early, so he's a 24 grad on track, but he came fall of 23. So he's still the youngest guy on the team. No, it was great. I mean, he really, it was obvious that he was ready to play at this level. We finished second in the nation in hitting percentage by just, a few percentage points. So even with all the kind of people we were shuffling in and out of lineup throughout, we were pretty efficient the whole year, and that's always a really good sign. And he's a year smarter and more experienced and a year stronger, and he grew. He's literally closer to 6'11" now. We're excited for the season to start.
That is a massive, Tread. That's a good little piece of tidbit for a coach to have on his side for sure, especially with how big the hitters are these days and how high they're jumping. So with all the competition that's been happening throughout the NCAAs, we saw so many different teams bring so much new talent from different areas of the world, and your team being one of them. Can you talk about your roster that you had last year versus what it's looking like for this year?
It's a lot different. We have I think 10 new people on our team this year, and it's just it's been great. I love all the guys. We've been meshing very well on and off the court, and now it's just about getting our core group together and getting it all figured out.
And you do have a pretty good core coming back in Luis Sakanoko, Kurt Neustra, Eleu Choi, and of course yourself. What kind of roles do you have or expectations do you have for those guys, Charlie? I know that you set the bar really high and they deliver most of the time for you.
Yeah, Louis came at the semester break in January last year, so he didn't get the full year. So he's really been almost like a new guy in the fall. It's the first fall that he's had. And I'd say at that position, nobody's really at the level that Spiros was, National Player of the Year candidate. But all four, we have four that we think can play at a really high level. And that's certainly been an upgrade for us. Kurt's more of a veteran guy and kind of anchoring one of the middle spots for us. And I think one of the most improved guys, not only in our gym, but in the country is going to be Eleu Choi. I mean, there's no one that works harder than that guy is, and he is one of the last COVID kids in his 6th year, and he has really taken his game to another level, and just a joy to be around and an exciting player to watch for sure.
Well, Kelly Ikanaga has upped the ante there in the Hawaii gym because of getting the MVP of the Big West Championships. LA is going to have to try and match up so she doesn't have that on them anymore this coming year.
Hey, don't doubt them.
I was looking at your lineup and wanted to get a sense of the new guys that you have coming in, and looks like you got them from 4 different countries, 4 different states in the U.S., and it looks like could be incredible additions to your program, Charlie.
Yeah, pretty good group coming in for us. We've hesitated to use the word young, like, you look at this team, we're young. And while there's a lot of first-year guys, some are a little more veteran and been around longer, and all have played volleyball at a real high level for a long time. So we're gonna avoid referring to the group as young. It's a new team that's kind of working together to kind of, I think Tread alluded to it, find some rhythm and see what the best combinations are. But lots of talent, and we could start, with Christian Titariski at the opposite. He was the leading point scorer at the U19 Worlds back in Argentina last summer, and he's a dynamic player, really explosive, and going to be a lot of fun to watch. On the left is Adrian Rohr, who was world champion at the U19 Worlds, and had a great summer, was the best outside hitter in the European Championships, and pretty accomplished player. With him on the left is freshman Finn Kearney, who's really played well. He's been a lefty opposite his whole career, and we've stuck him on the outside almost exclusively, and really had a nice fall camp for us. And Clay Wieters from transfer from Lindenwood, a 5th-year guy. So nice kind of veteran leadership. He's got decent size, he's 6'7", and really kind of an all-around game. Really a nice piece to have and add with, you had those 3 with Louis. Like I said, we've got 4 really accomplished left side attackers. In the middle, we mentioned Kurt, but Ofak Hassan is a first-year player from Israel. He plays on their senior national team. And we're kind of transitioning Justin Todd, who's redshirted last year as a freshman. He's been a left side, right side guy, but taken a lot of reps in the middle this year. He jump touches 12 feet and 6'9". He's done a lot of good stuff in the middle for us, and again, with 4 years of eligibility, he's got a really bright future. The setters, there's 2 new guys in the gym. Victor Lowe is a true freshman from Southern California, done a nice job, and Vladimir Kuber's a transfer from Pepperdine, and those guys are really doing nice work for us on the B side, and it's been a fun group. It's been a really fun fall for us.
So it sounds like you got a bunch of giants. If Tread's grown to be 6'11", you got some 6'10", 6'9" middles, and then whoever's at that left pin is standing around 6'6", 6'7", maybe bigger.
Yeah, they're all jump touching. The height is one thing, but it's where you're touching. They're all probably 11.5 to 11.9. Some, like I said, get closer to 12 feet, but it's the game's played at the top of the antenna anymore. So you got to have guys that can get up there and compete up at the top of the antenna.
Yeah. Well, Tread, let me ask you about this. In your fall or scrimmage season, how's it been like playing with the new group of guys and the competition you've had, whoever you've been competing against?
Yeah, it's been amazing, especially because, he doesn't like to say it, but we are kind of a young team. So it's nice because everyone's energetic to play and just really wants to get on the court together. And honestly, playing against each other. Practice has been amazing, getting reps against our own guys, and then the fall trip to GCU was a good outing. We went out there for a weekend, played I think somewhere around 15 sets, and did pretty good on most of those sets. So yeah, no, it's been exciting just getting everyone in the gym and just getting those connections down.
Well, let's jump here to the upcoming 2025 season. Looks like you guys are going to have a great month of January, and your fans are going to love Rainbow Warrior Volleyball. You're home for every day except for January 31st for all your matches. So what's it going to be like starting out the season with a good solid, 8 matches at home for all your Hawaii fans? And let's go with you, Charlie.
Yeah, that's the schedule looks pretty similar that it has the last several years, where we're home for the first 3-4 weeks. It's usually and then we go on the road at the end of the month. And this year's no different. We're opening once again. I know it's the 3rd or 4th year in a go with a solid team out of the MIVA and McKendree. And then we back that up with back-to-back weeks with Harvard and Princeton. And then we have that. The next week is always a bye week for us. We have a big fundraising event. We try not to play on the same week, and then we head on the road for the first time, and going to go up to Provo and get 2 against BYU, which is nice to have them back on the schedule now.
Yeah.
And we really have gotten the last few years. It's been 19 home dates and 9 road dates. Because we draw so well and make money for the university that. My boss wants us playing every game at home, but I tell him we got to go on the road for some of them. But we got Stanford coming in for 2. The outrigger is going to be really good with Penn State, SC, and Ball State. And then in the odd numbered years, which we are again, we get both Long Beach, Irvine, and San Diego all at home. So factors to be a really exciting home season for us.
Well, you even get Irvine pretty early on. It's in the middle of their non-conference play, but I guess there's the fundraiser or something going on with basketball, and you had to have an early Big West Conference match with Irvine.
Yeah, they put us. Every year they do this. They put us in the same week as the outrigger. Now that second week of March, where we moved it to. Basketball's still playing, and they put us playing a league match when we already. That's the only weekend that those teams can come. That Penn State can make it out. So NIF was good enough to move it into. It's actually we play on the 28th of February and the 1st of March. So kind of towards the end of the non-conference season and right before league play starts.
Yeah. Well, Tread, I'm going to ask you this. Are there any particular non-conference matchups you're looking forward to as you begin 2025?
Hold on, let me look at the schedule. I think there's 2 that stand out just off rip. I think BYU obviously get to see our old teammate again, and I think it's pretty unanimous across the country that BYU is a top stadium to play in, and they get loud. They have a lot of great fans out there, so that'll be fun. And then the week after that, coming back for Stanford.
Yeah,
I really liked that game last year, so hopefully that's a good one.
Well, I may have to correct you. It's the best venue outside of the Simplify Stan Sheriff Center to play.
Of course, yeah.
I know you're fans. I'm watching out for you. But
I'll say no. They're top 3. You can't beat them.
Now, as we go through that non-conference schedule, you head into Big West, and there's some pretty phenomenal play. But if you could describe Big West play, what would that be? And I know, Charlie, you've done this a lot every year, but I like seeing the transgression of it as we develop through the years over these interviews.
You're asking me or Tread?
You, Charlie.
Okay.
And then the Tread.
The Big West. I think it's a bloodbath, right? It's just you'll have what should be 3 in the top 5 or damn close. I know Theo's doing a great job at the end of last year with Northridge, and they get, what I thought was the best setter in the league was back. He did a really nice job last year, and they added some international pieces, and some, the opposite did a great job for them. They're going to be really good. And San Diego is ultra competitive. So, there won't be a night off anytime, and all 5 should be like in the top 20 nationally. So, and once again, will be exciting every single night.
Yep. How about you, Tread? Coming from the student athlete experience, what would you describe the Big West as?
I gotta agree with Charlie. I think every team in the Big West, you gotta make sure you're ready to play them and treat it like a big game, because at the end of the day, everyone's got players that can jump high, hit hard. So, every team out there can beat you at any night. So I think, especially in the Big West, other conferences have those other teams that aren't as good nationally, but I think every team in our conference has the ability to compete and competes very high.
Final question for Tread, a little on the non-serious side though, but when you go home for the holidays, do your sisters make you play beach volleyball against them?
No, they don't. They don't let me, actually. or I gotta be with the little one.
All right, gentlemen, I appreciate your time. I'm looking forward to. Actually, I don't get to see you in person this year. I'll be watching online for sure, unless, of course, you need some extra support out there with your broadcast crews. But those guys do a great job. I'll hang and watch back here.
Right on.
Thank you.